Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. So recently there was an AI engineering summit which went 8 hours and there was talks from Anthropic, OpenAI, and a ton of different companies showing what's kind of the latest in AI agents and what's going on in this field. And I learned a lot from this and really gave me a lot of excitement and insight into what's coming up in the future with AI agents. So there was talks from some of the leading AI companies, there were startups, and a lot of people from industry as well, such as McKinsey, and then academics like Stanford. So just going into it a little bit, coming up here to this first slide, we'll see that it started with Anthropic, and they're showing how curating the context window has become so key. Like actually only giving the agent what it needs to perform its task has increased quality like 30%. The next thing was context editing. So you can actually prune off information out of the context once it's used its necessary amount. Like for example, web research where it gave back like 100 websites. You don't need that after it's used once. So that was key. Another slide I really liked was just this one by Claude. Give Claude a computer and let it cook. I think that's just so cool. Going into agent skills, this was key as well. You're actually giving the agent the ability to accomplish tasks with very specific details. There was a tweet here saying, good models aren't enough. You need cultural change, coordination, and standardization.
Maybe in the future, all of us are going to be like managers of these agents who are like responsible for their work, but kicking them off and like when then editing their work and so on is like kind of a paradigm that you start to see in some of the coding, like people are very good with AI coding.
I think that's absolutely where the space is headed, and like what the exact future looks like, I don't know. But like, yeah, I think like you start to become a manager of these agents. It's doing work. And there's some really interesting ideas there around UX as well. Like, is it like a video game almost where you see your little agents running around, or like what is the right interface for managing this fleet of agents?
So that was really cool. They kind of mentioned how you go from a coder to someone who's managing a team of coders, and the best coders are actually doing that right now. Going into kind of the tool change, we're going from saws and hammers to more highly automated coding tools that get the whole thing done with high precision. Moving into the McKinsey slides, they were talking about how teams are changing. You see the agile team on the left, and you now see the AI team on the right. It's much leaner. They're in a bunch of different pods with a product definer and then builders that work along that product definer. Another slide they showed that was really interesting is like, what is AI turning into? So you have the inputs at the bottom and it builds all the way up into your outputs, which are time to revenue, increased revenue per feature, and per team cost reduction. And this is seen industry-wide. Moving on to the next slide. It was a Stanford talk where they showed that there's a bifurcation in the productivity of people in companies using AI. And you really want to start capturing metrics to make sure you're on the right line, you're on the top line that's growing exponentially. This was another slide where they showed on the left there was before using AI, and then on the right there was using AI. You see there isn't a huge improvement right now in amount of the green code being generated. In fact, it's going down a little bit. But there is as a broad increase in amount of code being generated, but I see this rocket shipping in the future, like in the next couple months, for sure. And I'll leave you off with this last slide by Every, and it's moving towards a demo culture instead of written or oral culture. So everyone is becoming a builder, even the CEO, and that's really exciting to me. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a great day.